even at the beach resort of Phuket, the sun doesn't shine every day, and then you have to think what to do. And it's pretty easy, you go to town. But not only that, today everything will be about the two most important things in life, eating and drinking. We'll visit very simple yet great restaurants and food stalls, as well as some rather fancy places, and that without breaking the bank. We'll have some snacks at the shopping center and at the market, and we'll take a closer look at a few special fruits. It's Thailand, so it will sure get spicy as usual, but above all, we'll get to know some authentic regional dishes apart from the regular green curry and sticky rice. And I'll show you the difference between great and horrible desserts in Asia. In any case, this food tour will be far from being boring. So, fetch your silverware, attach your napkins, and let's start our caloric extravaganza. Our Phuket food tour starts with a late breakfast, but now not with yet another large Western hotel breakfast, but at this small eatery without walls in Phuket town. It's called Khanom Cin Saphan Hin, and their specialty is Chinese noodles called Khanom Cin. And in best Thai style, it can get very hot, even at 10 in the morning. And I don't mean the weather. Prices here are very low and the quality is super fresh. With your Chinese noodles, you can choose what you would like to have on them, and the dishes have 1 to 3 stars according to their spiciness, sweetness and saltiness. In addition, you can choose various greens to eat with, herbs and also salad. For only $7-8, you can have a really nice meal here for 4 people. My cousin is starting to cry right now because it's too hot, the food. Between all those curries, there's also this nice freshly steamed sweet rice coconut pudding with pandanus to let your palate relax from the chilly heat. And it tastes absolutely delicious. That's really good. Well, and now I'm gonna have what my cousin just had. Where she said it's too hot, too spicy, but I wanna try it. Well, it's just before 10 in the morning. Why don't have something that blows your mind away? Well, I just got already some napkins from my relatives, because I think I won't make it, so let's see. Very good. It's getting hotter and spicier. Die! Okay. And a few moments later, you see me sweating like crazy, not because it's so hot outside, but because the food is so hot and so spicy from inside. The crazy thing with this kind of spicy Thai food is it burns your mouth away, but you still want to eat it, and even more, and even it burns again, and you want to eat even more. After so much chili, you need to cool down again, and that's why before our first really great restaurant visit, we're going to have a short iced coffee in one of my favorite cafes on beautiful Thalang street in Phuket town. A short stop at the Bookhemian Café. More about that in my report about shopping, temples, cafes and markets. And I really love the mix of cafe and bookstore and library and gift shop. Anytime you come to Phuket, this is a real recommendation. You can enjoy some really good coffee and yourself. And if you're hungry and no big lunches planned like today, you can have Indian roti right across the street. Super tasty, but not exactly a light dish. The roti here are freshly made and fried in butter ghee, and they come as regular ones or blackened with charcoal or sweet and green with pandanus. The sweet ones are served with sugared egg yolk and coconut, or you can choose between chicken and beef curry for your salty roti. And if it gets too spicy again, you can order some of those super sweet iced teas with it.
But now we're going to a very nice restaurant nearby where you can easily spend several hours eating and drinking in a nice atmosphere, and the menu offers international dishes as well as real Phuket cuisine. We're going to the Day and Night in Phuket town. The ambience is a bit like in a beautiful Parisian bistro, and the dishes are all super fresh, of really high quality and very nicely presented. At $6 to $18 per dish, however, it's not exactly cheap by Thai standards. But luckily there's the Hungry Hub reservation app. And here you can choose from a large menu at a price of 990 Thai baht. But pictures say more than words, so here are a few impressions of what 4 people can eat with a lot of appetite in 2 hours.
Amazing food, amazing friends.
The list of non-alcoholic drinks is also exciting, and there's a whole range of freshly squeezed iced juices, soda with yuzu, very strong unsweetened iced chocolate and matcha frappe. Looking at the bill can be quite impressive in the end, but Hungry Hub keeps everything wonderfully under control and promises fantastic value for money.
If you're ever in Phuket town and getting hungry, this is a real recommendation to go to.
Of course, there are food stalls on every corner in Phuket town, but if you like vegetarian food, you should pay a visit to the vegetarian restaurants right next to the Chinese temple Kwan Im Theng, and then combine it with a visit to the temple. Both restaurants and temple are absolutely worthwhile seeing. Next, we're going to the hills around the town of Chalong, between Phuket town and Rawai beach, and close to the big Buddha Phuket, which you should definitely visit and which we will visit in another report. But for this food adventure, we're driving to the Three Monkeys Café, which has already gained some kind of fame. This cafe is located in the middle of the light forest, and here you can not only drink coffee, but you can let your mind drift away in childlike admiration for a moment or two. You can walk through flower arrangements, admire the beautiful lounge pavilions, walk over little bridges above the treetops, and pass by futuristic glass pavilions. There's something to discover at every corner. But of course, you can also just do what you can do in a cafe. Have coffee or something else.
And at the Three Monkeys Cafe, I opted to have no coffee, but this time I'm gonna have tea, and that's iced tea made of cascara flowers and ginger. I never heard of cascara flowers, but this is how it looks. It looks so beautiful, like most things in Thailand, no matter food, drinks or anything else. And I'm really looking forward to that. They also have kopi luwak. That's the very specially fermented coffee from Indonesia that an animal in the forest eats, and then the beans go out again later and they make coffee from that. And I had that already in Indonesia, and it tasted really nice, kind of fruity, flowery, But yeah, I had that already, and I don't want to spend 600 baht now on something that I had anyway. So this I never had, and this is just wonderful. Good is it. So now I'm gonna show you what you get if you order a coconut espresso or espresso coconut. Bigger is not possible. Actually, this coconut espresso is so impressive that I almost forgot to try how it tastes. Now let's have a look. So you see there's really coffee in there, and it's actually very good. It's just very, 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 very sweet. It's almost like ice cream that somebody defrosted, but it's really tasty.
Close by you can also make a stop at Wat Chalong, the largest and most famous temple on the island, which is well worth a visit. And from the tall towering main temple you have a beautiful view of the surroundings. More about that in another review about temples, shopping, cafes and markets. If you like my flight and travel reports, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it right now with the bell notification. It costs you just one click. I'm really happy, and you're making a big difference for the future of this channel. From the Chalong temple we are now going to a shopping temple, to the central Phuket department store, because here too there are few nice food corners that are usually overseen. But on the way there, think for a moment what the toilet in your shopping center in your hometown looks like. Well, here it looks like this. The food courts over here are rather neglected by tourists, but the food here is often pretty good and very cheap. It works like this. You buy a food coupon and then you choose from as many food stalls as you like, and also eat the sushi that you just bought at the supermarket.
Well, what shall I say? This is how it looks when the eyes are bigger than the stomach, and the stomach is developing into the size of the eyes after some while, if you know what I mean. Actually, I bought all this because I wanted to show you, and that's quite hot. It's fried mussels and the seaweed salad, that's wakame I would say, and here the little barbecued sticks that I bought in the little shop. So, doesn't look so bad, and now let's begin. Now look how beautiful those mussels are, crispy with eggs, and then you just dip them here in the sauce and look forward to a really good bite. Fantastic. And the wakame salad looks so nice, I almost don't want to destroy it. But anyway, it has to end up where it has to end up. And that's really nice.
If your eyes were again a little bigger than your stomach, having something cold is a great idea. And there's a nice place for that at the central Phuket. The Thai phone company True runs a pretty chic cafe here right next to Starbucks. And it's actually a really nice alternative to Starbucks too. They have something really delicious, yuzu matcha frappe. Now we're going to a place that was a really fantastic surprise for me when it comes to local cuisine in Phuket. The Mor Mu Dong Restaurant right by the mangroves of the Chalong River. And you're sure to get dishes here that you have never seen nor eaten before. They're really amazing, and be aware, I'm getting amazed all over now.
So now I'm in a really very special place, a restaurant called Mor Mu Dong, and they have very special, authentic, very special Thai food. And you see, you sit also very nicely by a river, canal, and here with roof. So even when it's raining, you have a nice roof above yourself. And here, some samples. Very special kind of seaweed with seafood here. Then you have river snails, and then you have a squid in its own ink. and fern soup. So that's soup made with fern. Now, where do you get that? That's really special. I'm really looking forward to this one now. So I'm starting with these crab cakes or crab rolls. And they taste just fantastic with a bit of plum sauce. And yeah, just really delicious, and a lot of crab meat in there, not just rubbish. Really very good, high quality. Next are the river snails. They already look very, very good. And they taste so much better than they look, because they taste fantastic. In a spicy, yet mildly spicy, yeah, spicy yellow curry. Really good. Next we're trying the squid in its own ink. It's a little bit like Italy or Spain, where you get the pasta with squid with its own ink, but this looks really very much like it's called. And it's beautifully sweet. Very nice taste, and not gross at all, as it might sound. No, it's wonderful taste. Just delicious, and it's a little embarrassing because I always say it tastes great, but it does. And next we have gang som, and that's with fish, you see, very nice. So it's actually kind of a curry soup with orange or any kind of citrus fruit. So let's see. And it's beautifully fruity. It's really fruity with the spice of curries and the like imagination of soup. It's really very nice and fruity, and I think I never tried anything like this. It's like spicy and orangey and just wonderful to eat. And we're continuing with something really special. That's a soup made with fern, like fern from the woods or maybe from somewhere else, but really very special. So this is my first soup that's made of fern. Look, very clearly fern. And it's got a really nice texture. It's like a vegetable soup, but it's like with salad, but very strong texture actually. It tastes a little bit of shrimp paste, and yeah, it's just very nice vegetable soup. I would never thought I would ever eat in my life fern. And we're continuing with another really very special dish, and that's kind of seaweed. They call it a sea grape, because it looks a little like grapes, and with it we have seafood. Now look at this, beautiful, made as a salad. It looks already very special, and it tastes just amazing. Now who would have guessed I would say that? It really does taste amazing. So nice. It's lime and two different kinds of chilies, red and green, and squid in this case, but there's also fish and prawns. And then you have this very, very special kind of seaweed that I've never seen before, but I'm sure you have, or some of you have. And it really looks a little bit like grapes, you see. And when you chew it, it pops like, I don't know, like grapes, like caviar, somewhere in between. It was really awesome. And now we're having fish. It's not a big fish, it's rather a smaller fish, but there's something really special going on here, and I just had a preview. Now let's have a look. See, that's the fish, and if you cut it open, it's like this. They stuffed something like a fish paste inside. I have no idea how they can do it, but they did it. And now I'm really looking forward to eating this. Very special. Very special. Now this fish is really crazy, because it's really, I don't know how they do it, but it's like a sausage. Because inside is just meat, no more fish bones, it's just the fish meat made like a sausage almost, but outside like the whole fish. I've never seen anything like this. And it tastes pretty good. It tastes a little like fish sausage. Never had one, but this is how I would imagine one. Really pretty special. A very silent but important part of food is these kind of herbs and kind of not salad but actually herbs that are part of most Thai dishes, or actually accompanying dishes. And most of these leaves are kind of bitter in taste, but I think it's pretty special, and especially after you have something spicy, this can be really nice, and you normally eat it in between bites. Now this one is really bitter, what I just had. Then we have one that looks more like this. Sorry, I look like a goat now, but that's how it is. They're all kind of bitter, and or most of them are. And but the nice thing is, you know, they still have bitter as a taste. That's still important. And I think in Europe and America, bitter has been erased from all kinds of meals. Although it's pretty important. You know that when you go to old medicine, they always have bitter herbs as a remedy.
On our way to the next restaurant, we are making a quick stop at the mega store that is not a restaurant at all, but is really worth a visit for its sheer size alone. Super cheap. And the grocery department alone is absolutely gigantic. I present this huge supermarket that makes every other supermarket look like a deli in another video. But here are just a few pictures and a few words about a famous, or actually infamous, Thai fruit. The durian.
And here that's at the moment the durian montong that's just starting the season now. And people use a stick to try if it's ripe already. And you can hardly touch it because it's got such strong spice. You can just easily injure your hand and get really home with a bleeding hand. But the inside is simply amazing. Either you hate it or you love it forever.
In my big beach report, I found a small restaurant that should actually be in every tour guide and is completely unknown. Here again, a small excerpt about the restaurant Raan Thalang with its fantastic and incredibly cheap food near Thalang, which is definitely worth a detour.
Well, of course, now when I don't have the right camera, I'm here in this amazing restaurant that is even not possible to find on Google Maps. So I only see the position of the restaurant. Sorry for the shaky image, but I have to show you this food. It's just really fantastic. Close to Thalang.
The place doesn't have an English name, but it's called Raan Thalang. That means restaurant by the victory field of Thalang. Almost everybody drives past this little eatery with no idea what great food is served here. There are so many specialties here that differ from the usual tourist menus. Many different types of gang and yum, raw marinated shrimps and 1,000-year-old eggs. The most expensive single dish on the menu costs 80 baht, which is about $2.50. Only one specialty was 200 baht, about $6. The four of us paid 420 baht here, which is about $13 for 7 different dishes with drinks and a culinary experience. Raan Thalang. We're continuing to an inconspicuous restaurant in Kathu along the street between Phuket and Patong, which is probably completely unknown to non-residents. The Fong Nom. And in addition to many good and also interesting dishes like deep fried chicken cartilage or chicken feet soup, they serve 2 real great specialties over here. And now I'm really getting hungry. See for yourself.
Nowadays it's very rare that you get something to eat that's a first timer and that's completely new to your taste buds. And today is a day like this. I love somtam. That's the Thai papaya salad, and normally it's salad, yeah. But this here is somtam tod, I think, right? Somtam tod. So it's fried papaya salad. And they fry the papaya like this. And it tastes just amazing. And then they put the regular somtam over it. And it's just an amazing mix of flavors and crunchiness and everything. Well, I always said that Thai food is amazing except for the desserts, but like a week ago I learned that that's not true, because they do have some amazing desserts, and we took a tiny little one for the two of us, my cousin and myself, and here it is. What is the name?
Bingsu Jumbo.
Bingsu Jumbo. Yeah, it's actually milk snow and all kinds of stuff on top of it, so it's much better than carved ice. It's really pretty good. And you know, actually it looks very big, but actually this is the most healthy, the healthiest milk ice you can ever have. Because this is just frozen milk. There's not much sugar in it, there's not much fat in it, there's not egg in it and all the unhealthy stuff. It's just snowy milk.
And after all the delicious food and the great dessert, here are a few real-life impressions about some desserts that are popular in Thailand, but which I would certainly declare a method of torture. Presented at the otherwise wonderful JW Marriott Resort and Spa Mai Khao Beach.